The NFL. I want you to say you made it all up.
I made it up.
They're accusing you of fraud.
If you retract, you'll be fine. This all goes away.
Why are they doing this?
They're terrified of you. Bennett Omalu is going to war with a corporation that has 20 million people on a weekly basis craving their product. The same way they crave food. The NFL owns a day of the week. The same day the church used to own. Now it's theirs.
That was a scene from Concussion, a film based on the true story of Dr. Bennett Omalu, the forensic neuropathologist who made the first discovery of CTE, a football-related brain trauma. Joining us now, the lawyer who filed the first 2 concussion-related lawsuits against the NFL, Jason Luckasevic. Luckasevic, okay. So I guess, first of all, tell us about the cases that you're filing, because this could have long, far-reaching consequences for the NFL.
Right now, there's a stay on the filing of cases because it's being held up with the finalizing the settlement and the appeal process in the federal court system in Philadelphia. So there are, last understanding, some 6,000 guys that actually joined on to the lawsuit. But it does cover all former players, some 20,000 guys.
Were you surprised at the first low-ball offer the NFL made to settle this suit, given the billions and billions that league is worth? After
what I've been through for years of investigating this and standing by Dr. Omalu's side, I'm not surprised of anything the NFL does.
Why not?
Because, you know, the NFL needs to protect its business. After all, we as a culture hold football higher than we do education. We hold football higher than we do politics. It is important as a society. We hold it differently than everybody else.
There's no helmet that they're ever going to construct that is going to protect players entirely. So is it going to be moms in this country going forward who drive this conversation? Not that dads wouldn't be participants, because once they start saying, I am not going to let my son play football, is that the first drip, drip, drip of what affects a sport that everybody says, we heard this about something else one time, too big to fail?
Absolutely. It will be moms. You know, when I first started meeting players and getting to know players, they said that the only way this will ever change in our society is if moms understand the dangers you have with playing contact sport. And it's not the concussions, it's the collisions that cause it.
Initially, when you filed suit, when you first filed suit against the NFL, what was it like, the pushback from the National Football League, which sometimes regards itself as a separate nation in and of itself?
Oh, their first comments were, we've been ahead of this issue, we're going to fight this strenuously. The media, when we first filed, was these are some money-hungry players that are just looking for a quick payday. But, you know, Mike, you know better than anybody that the players that we're talking about played in the 70s and 80s, where their maximum contracts were $80,000.
And the 60s.
And I mean, and the 60s, we were talking about Frank Gifford beforehand, never the same after that crushing hit in 1960 that we all have seen the image of. Wanted to ask you guys, I mean, what do you think? What does it mean when somebody, and there it is right there, Chuck Bednarik peering over him after the hit. What does it mean when people like John Elway and Brett Favre, the legends of this generation, say, I wouldn't let my kids play football?
You know why, Joe? Because all of them think about this every day. And anytime, I'm telling you, anytime an ex-quarterback can't find his car keys, don't think that he's not thinking about this.
What about Brett Favre, talking about what you were talking about, Brett Favre and his daughter?
2 years ago, Brett Favre, said, you know this, said that he couldn't remember that his daughter had played youth soccer. And how many other quarterbacks are walking around thinking that they've got some time bomb going on inside their own head?
Well, there is a time bomb. Eventually, God forbid, but it's likely to happen, someone's going to die in a professional football field. The size, the strength, the speed of the players, the collision, the impact of the collision on the field,
keeps getting more powerful and more powerful. I say this all the time. Mike Lupica, when we were talking about this several years ago, said that when he was a radio reporter in Dallas, he walked out to the football field, he was standing next to Tom Landry. Landry whispers below his breath just so Mick can hear. He said, this isn't the game. This isn't the game I started with. They're too big. They're too fast.
All right. Jason Luckasevic, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be
Thank you,
following